Alright, so today we're going to service a furnace. I'm going to show you the proper way to service a furnace. The first thing you want to do is make sure that the thermostat's off inside because you don't want it coming on unexpectedly. You want to open the furnace up. This one's in a garage, so it makes it nice and easy. A lot of the time when they're in the garage, the doors just pop off. If they're in an attic, they'll typically have screws to hold the doors together. You want to replace those screws after you take them out because if the doors fall off, it can cause safety issues. First thing I'm going to do is just remove the heating wire, which is a W wire. Make sure that nobody can turn on the thermostat inside and turn this furnace on me. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start just cleaning it up. So I take my brush and I just clean off all the dust. I try to go from the top and I brush all the dust down. That way it's all gone when I'm done. Check the filter, make sure it's clean. They should be changed once every month. And a lot of the time these filters will say 90 days on them, but really they're 1 month filters, at least here in Las Vegas, because these furnaces run a lot longer than the filters are designed for. And then we can clean off the circuit board, make sure that it's all free of debris. Also, this is a good opportunity to check the connections on the wires. When you're going through and you're brushing everything off, you can actually tell if there's loose wire connections or any kind of intermittent possibilities. Also, you can check wires for burning or burn marks on the circuit boards. Well, this one's nice and clean, so we look like we're in good shape here. Also, when I remove this door, there's this safety switch right here, and it actually shuts this furnace down, so there's no power running through this. So then we're going to go through, after I've brushed it off, I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. I like to spray these off, and I just use a green solvent, like Simple Green will work. I get a special green solvent from the HVAC supplier myself, but it's basically the same as Simple Green. But I really want to make it look like somebody was actually in here cleaning this thing. A lot of guys will come in and they'll inspect the furnace and they'll look for things that they can upsell people or sell them so that they walk away with a higher ticket. Well, my first mission here is I'd like for the thing to actually run better when I'm done, just for the service money that I'm being paid. If I find other stuff, that's just to help the customer out and make sure that they're going to have a reliable piece of equipment. Alright, so we're going to continue cleaning this now. And we're going to make sure to get in the blower housing. Because this is a good indication as to how dirty the equipment is getting from air filter or lack of air filter. But this one seems to be pretty good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the igniter. And this is what lights up the flame. So what we're going to do is do a resistance test or an ohms test on this igniter. What we have is 83. So this igniter is primed for replacement. Anything over 80 ohms should be preemptively replaced because it's going to go out in a season. Clean off the flame sensor. And this is a flame proving sensor, which basically means that it tells the circuit board that the flame is lit. So when the gases turn on, if the flame is not lit, it'll actually take the gas or the valve off. So you just take a little bit of emery paper and just clean it off real quick. Even a shirt can work. See, there's no oxidation on that now. Alright, so now we're going to check the gas pressure on the valve. So we're going to take this one off with a little Allen wrench. And here's our gas pressure tester. Okay. There's that. Now we can start the furnace. Okay, now our reducer draft motor is starting, and we can test the amp draw on this, which is 0.43, 0.41, and the tag right here will tell you what the range is, and it should be 1.84 on the high side, so we're well within range on that. Now our flames are starting. Our igniter went. We're looking for a nice blue flame. We don't want to see very much, if any, orange flame. It should all be blue. And if you look right here on the gauge, this is right about 3.5, so that's good gas pressure. We want to leave this hooked up because if we unhook this right now, we'll get gas shooting out. Well, another point on this is that if you needed to adjust the gas pressure, you can do that by this little screw up here on the top. You adjust this little screw on the inside here. If you turn it counterclockwise, it's going to decrease the pressure. If you turn it clockwise, it's going to increase the pressure. Now I'm going to get an amp draw on the motor. We're running about 3.2. Now you can find all of your ranges for this equipment on the tag that's inside of the furnace here. So then we want to disconnect our call for heat, and that's going to run the indoor fan motor. And you want to do it that way instead of disconnecting the power. That way you cool down the heat exchanger. And the heat exchanger is the part where the gases, the burning gases go into and circulate in an airtight chamber. And then this motor pulls the gases out and then forces it out the flue here. And you want to make sure that the door is put on correctly and that it's not going to fall off. And I like to clean off the whole thing, the face. Make sure to plug it back in. So we're going to do a temperature rise measurement, which is important for furnaces. It makes sure that the furnace isn't getting too hot and basically causing cracks in the heat exchanger, which is a safety issue. One probe you want to put on the inlet of the furnace, which is the fresh air coming in. And then you want to put the other probe supply, and then this is going to give you a temperature difference. Which is about 42. And this one says between 15 and 45. So this one's a little bit on the high end. Normally I would look for a dirty air filter or vents inside the house which are shut off. There you go. That's your furnace service. Have a good day.